Okay, so
Jimmy Beast.
one of the most interesting things about this whole Substack saga is that randomly people start bringing up that this guy had quote unquote high school drama. Now, when he describes the high school drama, he describes it as he started talking to a person named Marissa who was on the opposite track team from him. Okay, so he started talking to them. Now, I don't know why, but apparently this ended in Marissa having to change her number and the authorities getting involved.
What?
Yeah.
Spire in the Woods call? What the fuck?
Like, I think that this guy might have some stalking allegations, but that's neither here nor there. I guess it happens to all of us. I don't know.
Well, he's from Tennessee, apparently. That shit go.
No. The Homo Aspian person's from Tennessee. I'm talking about our protagonist, Brett.
Oh, the main character, the hero of the story.
The hero. I'm talking about Brett. I think he has...
The Savior Knight.
He has some potential to be a stalker, okay? Allegedly, of course. But, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like he literally said that he had to handle this legally. So make of that what you will. Oh my god, guys, fucking internet anarchist responded. Holy shit, hold on.
Wait, what? To what?
Because internet anarchists somehow talked to this guy.
Oh, okay.
On my stream right now. Guy is a massive...
I'm looking at all your messages.
Schizo.
Why were you talking to Cyrus, dude? Didn't you know what that guy did?
Yeah. Server due to stalking a female actor. I think I can't find him due to his Discord account being banned. Which female actor? Do you have logs of any of that? That's insane. Lamphal? Okay, and then also, let me say...
Can you put like a laughing emoji?
I'm gonna do laughing while crying, probably.
Okay, so from 2022 to 2023 of the Kelton project, that was the phase of reaching out to celebrities. Of course, there are many attempts to Of course, a lot of people don't know what Kelton is, or maybe they have heard of it, but are far more interested in scorning it than trying to understand what it actually is. But one thing people have known for a long time is that Kelton, or Operation Keltonland, was put on hold indefinitely, or so we thought. You see, the first phase was a Discord server. Invite as many people as we possibly could, and that seemed like a simple solution. The second idea to bring it into the public was the Giga Chat, but that was a doofus idea. Like World Group Chat, like serious? The third idea was the celebrity outreach. The fourth idea were more Discord servers. And the current idea is Erdum. These bring Kelton into the public spotlight attempts were over the span of the past 3-4 years. And it's gradually getting. Okay, so we're going to talk about the celebrity outreach phase of Kelton publicity attempts, which was from 2022 to 2023. I reached 3 people in total. One of them later became a known OnlyFans star. Thank God she quit. But before that, she actually jumped into my Discord server.
I think I was fairly neutral on Mr. Beast until the scandal of Camila Araujo came out. You know, the girl who did OnlyFans and advertised it to her little brother. Unfortunately, she was in my old Discord server. It was called Operation Keltonland, but it wasn't called that then.
Okay. 2 of them were failed attempts, Audrey Holcomb and Morgann Book. Okay, so The Morgann book stuff is extremely well documented. I mean, we're talking about extreme documentation level, but we're gonna brief on the Audrey Holcomb stuff, because most of the private group chats in talking about Audrey Holcomb were deleted a while back. The the WordPress blog was deleted years ago, and Internet Anarchist apparently knows about it, probably because some rogue actor like Bob decided to share it. I don't really know. So, we're gonna get into that first. Into that later. But to brief on the Audrey Holcomb stuff, yeah, she's a Stranger Things actress, but a minor Stranger Things actress. I mean, if you look at it, I'm a big fan of Stranger Things, right? I'm into the lore, I'm into the fandom, so why not decide to reach out to an actor who is familiar with the show? But of course, major actors are going to be off limits, right? But do like a small actor. So Audrey Holcomb was the one that came to my mind, right? But and we tried to to find public records, find contacts, employers who could be associated with this Audrey Holcomb, but it just didn't really work. I mean, and Audrey Holcomb did not even have a Twitter page. She did not even have a YouTube channel. I mean, she has Instagram, but that's just about it. so, so Audrey Holcomb was pretty much uncontactable. So this is the main document about the Morgann book drama. Now there are some other pieces of evidence that prove the Morgann book drama existed, but this one's actually contextualized. You can't really put two and two together with all the other stuff out there. So let's take a read. April 30th, 2022. It was a long spring day at the Texas Homeschool State track meet in Tomball. It was very humid and we were scorching, and I had the feeling to go to the restroom. Yep. Honestly, the worst feeling is not just it's humid, but you ate spicy Mexican food the day prior. Now you feel like you want to go to the bathroom. Like, that's the worst feeling. I decided to entertain others and ran into 3 girls sitting in the chairs, one named Marissa Wiles. That girl was the only thing I got out of that meet. I did not even beat my previous times. Yeah, the purpose of track meets are to beat your previous runtime records. So nothing really came out of it, and being from the Dallas area, 3 to 4 hour drive, just to get that out of it, it's worthless. It was just worthless. I tried to get her phone number through a friend, and it took a lot of work. So basically I tried to take all the good stuff that came out of that track meet, including getting Marissa's phone number. I was going to expect the best to come out of it if she accepted, but it did not work. She blocked me 2 weeks later, and ended up in a harassment ring between my team and her. Ironically, in July, I ended up in a restraining order, one thing I never forgot. It wasn't really a restraining order. That was just added for the jokes, right? It was more like the cops just called and suggested me and my friends not to push things anymore. The only thing that happened was that the cops called. That's the only thing that happened. That's the only thing that happened. It never worked, and I was angry about her act being spiteful and hungry for revenge. Sam mentioned that both of us lacked innocence, and that the guilt was on both sides, but did not mean for me to take action to deteriorate the situation. Yeah, that's what happened. Marissa was being rude. Blocking someone out of nowhere, that's rude. That's rude. Leaving someone unread, that's also very rude. So she was being a very rude person. And it's not my fault for that. However, though, it is my fault because I let my revenge take over me, and my friends and I pushed it too far. The revenge, it is. So I tried later reaching someone in October who I never would have fathomed in early 2022, Morgann Book, a college student and Dairy Queen employee who resides in Ancaster, Ontario. I don't think she lives in Ancaster, I think she lives in Hamilton, but whatever. Many of my friends had never understood earlier that this girl had like 2.8 million followers on TikTok and 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Painkillers would only be necessary. It was in December, the final month of my last WordPress site, when I noticed a peculiarity. I was sardonically trying to mention random people on my YouTube channel, and a few familiar IRL figures rolled in, such as Max Muth saying what's up. Oh, he's the co-founder of Kelton, by the way. Like, we co-founded the first Discord server about Kelton in 2021, so congrats to him. Even though he's not really involved in that stuff anymore, I still say he's the co-founder because, I mean, the concept of Kelton, right? The research developed over the years, but that's just the concept of Kelton was the, 3D printing, all that stuff. I noticed a view coming from Canada, where I had views in the US, UK, France, Pakistan, the Philippines, but Canada? It was close to zero, the views I got from there. It was even lower than Africa. Congratulations on spell checking, because that is grammatically incorrect, the way it's written. So basically this is admitting that I got lower views in Canada than I did for Africa, which makes sense, because the majority of the people I talked to on Discord in 2022 were foreign. We know that Ezio was foreign. Well, you know what? He's from 2022 too. So, the only person I talked to there was Mateo, who was on my Discord. But no way though, I was not on Discord in over a month, so I did the unthinkable and uploaded another video and pinged the Morgann book again in the description. That's what happened. That's what happened. You see, I took a break from Discord around November 2022. I came back in August or September 2023. So it was a pretty long break, and of course, you can't really give someone attention on Discord without pinging them, but since I was off from Discord, Mateo did not make any sense. So I assumed that it was Morgann Book who was actually viewing. And after I pinged Morgann Book in the video description, the Canadian views on my WordPress skyrocketed, with 3/4 of my whole blog being read. Yep. That's when the revenge phase came in. Oh yeah, this girl was spying on my blog, so time to take and seek revenge. The news was distributed among friends, and we all postulated our hypotheses. However, I ignored that for a few months, and ended in a loophole prank calling her Dairy Queen with a hidden number or spoofs. Which this document is about right here. It's from 2023. I'll show you right here. You see, this version of 2025, I redacted the phone numbers because I didn't think they were needed anymore. So I came back, but the first edit was in 2023 right here. January 2023. Oh, that's it. Oh yeah, right here. I added all that stuff right there. So it says, on Friday, I managed to rickroll Morgann Book Dairy Queen. Legitimately, it worked. Now I recorded the call, and there was a female laugh in the background. So the first time I prank called Morgann Book Dairy Queen was a rickroll. I have been trying to reach her since October. And I talk about the WordPress spying thing right here, and here are all the pranks. Try a site like prankdial.com. Okay, let's listen.
You cast the Dairy Queen.
Hello, this is Harold Wong from Wong Chinese. I have an order of orange chicken, beef broccoli, a sweet and sour chicken lo mein, and order of ribs. It's ready for you to pick up.
So you're calling Dairy Queen. We didn't order any of that.
What? This is the number you gave me for order. Your order has been ready for half an hour.
And where are you located?
No.
That's the first one.
Hey, Castro. Dairy Queen.
Hello, this is Harold Wong from Wong Chinese. I have an order of orange chicken, beef broccoli, a sweet and sour chicken lo mein, and...
He obviously hung up with that one.
Ancaster Dairy Queen.
Hi, do you guys have any toilet paper?
This is Ancaster Dairy Queen.
Toilet paper. I need some right now.
Okay then. So, that's exactly what happened. I mean, and then, like, after a few months in that catastrophe, my friends and I, of course, the track friends are still around, right? Since they were like in 2023 too. So, and I ran track in 2023. The years were 2022 and 2023. I ran track in. So my track friends were still around, right? We after that document was made public, the prank calling was obviously became very prevalent. It went viral and all that stuff. My friends and I discouraged anyone from pranking again. And that's what happened. That's what happened. So, and of course, it was pretty useless because Morgann Book, I think she did not even work there anymore. So it's like, so it was useless hassling. That's what it was. But let me explain something really quickly about Substack, though. Well, this is my Trakaplex Substack right here. I explained the Morgann Book situation right here. It's Gianna. Now, Gianna's a really cool friend. She's pretty much like a mentor. We're both the same age, but she was pretty much like the adult in the house. Like, all the boys were pretty much like so immature. So it's like, she was directing everyone around. But then the boys were still trying to defend me. You know how that typically goes. But you go here, search the chats. You see, I'm in Morgann Book's Substack chat, and guess what? The funny thing is that yeah, let me read it. Team Rorik. Is that Morgann Book still leaves me unrestricted to this day. She never even restricted me. Which is kind of weird. Because I remember one point, like, I was so apologetic for hassling her Dairy Queen that I actually shared her my location. Yeah, I doxed myself to Morgann Book. I freaking doxed myself to her. Because, I have her email, so you can just put it in. Put your location in. So that's the elephant in the room. So, all's well that ends well. Yeah, I'm kind of concerned about her though, because I know her view count is declining on YouTube and a lot of her social medias. From 2023 to 2026. It's basically a short, concise summary of my time on Twitch, because I know it's very close to coming to an end, so I decided to write analysis of it in all the channels I follow, the channel points accumulation, as well as watch times, etc. Well, watch times aren't specifically mentioned in this document, but of course, channel points and watch times, you don't really know the watch times though, because first of all, bot configurations can change, but you do know what the channel point accumulation rate is. That's the only thing that's easy to calculate and make data points on. So it says, I have been on Twitch since the 5th of June 2023. I knew I joined Twitch in June 2023, I just didn't know the exact date. So I went on twitchtracker.com and I managed to find it, so congrats to that website. But have spent nearly every single day on the platform since. It's true. According to my recent recap, I spent 332 days last year on Twitch. Yeah, in 2025. I say, however, I am likely to severely drop my activity this year due to statistical progress within Erdum, Kelton, and other goals, which is going to be the truth. But I decided to make this document for fun because of projections. The first person I followed was Oksana on the 23rd of June 2023. I was not an active viewer, but heard she was donated by Mr. Beast, so gave a follow. However, concerning the 26th of June 2023, Kylie entered the chat, in which I knew her because of Donnie Bobes, which is the Minecraft YouTuber who trolls, by the way. And I didn't necessarily always know Oksana because of Mr. Beast. I knew Oksana for other reasons too, because she appeared in a lot of clips from the past that I used to watch. So it wasn't just because of Mr. Beast. But this document confirms that Kylie was the one who actually spiked my activity on Twitch, my viewing activity on Twitch. And for a reason why. Because the Donnie Bob circle, right? And okay, so now let's talk about the channels that I'm banned from. Okay, this is going to be difficult to explain. But of course, if you follow like 85 people on Twitch, which is me, I follow 85 people on Twitch. 67 are women, 18 are men. So, however though, you're not going to adapt to every single community on Twitch you follow. And that's a confirmed fact. Like it's subjective. They have subjective tolerance, they accept subjective things, they have subjective personality. So, and that's the big thing that took a toll in this one. I mean, so far, I tracked down the communities I'm actually banned from on Twitch. Now, this one is Kylie Highland, not Kylie Lee. It's a different Kylie, but um, I don't exactly know why I've been banned from that one, but because that one wasn't really a major recorded drama, so I might have to ask. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Miss Highland has forgotten about that one. So, but we're going to talk about the ones I've gotten banned from due to the drama. So here's the Oksana one. This one was very recent, November 2025. It says, even though the community has gotten familiar with me, an unknown moderator, Cosmic or Carlo, banned me for no reason in November 2025. If you don't know who Carlo is, let me pull it up. This is Carlo. You know, this is Carlo right here. That's Carlo. This ban was definitely unknown by Oksana herself. You see, that's the truth. Oksana probably had no knowledge of that ban. Because when I asked the community's VIPs, they were baffled. They didn't know exactly why I got banned. And here's the funny thing. So after I got banned from Oksana, I explained to the British pianist Christoph, who's actually Oksana's friend. Christoph and the other Oksana VIPs who hang out in his community, they were very confused as well. So, it's just, this one is just basically rogue mod abuse. Rogue mod abuse. That's what this one was. So, move on. The bingo corn drama. This one is obvious. But Cornel was a Beast Games contestant and received $20,000 in the challenge. Maddie, this is a sarcastic joke. And this one, the moderator's name resembled a Cocomelon character. But of course, you realize how humiliating that will be, right? To be called a Cocomelon character. So, it makes sense. Basically, it's jocular antagonizing. So yeah, it makes sense. The Stranger Things wormhole theorem explaining the personalities of different streamers. I took the data points and used an AI to actually map it. You see the magenta line here, summer is incredibly spiking. There's like 50 to 60,000 channel points per month at the current rate of summer. So that means Summer's gonna pass my most viewed streamer, Audrey, which has I think it's like 39 days of watch time. It's going to pass it sometime like when GTA 6 comes out, or probably even earlier. I don't even know. This is projections until 2040. This was made just for fun because I already explained that I'm not going to be on Twitch that often after this year. So there is going to be a line where I just cut off my Twitch activity. I don't know when it is, but it will be when Dumb is complete. Something has gone off the fence. So the bingo corn chip
Cornelia. Cornelia. Bingo. Cornelia. Starting bingo. Corn chip. Going on bingo.
Okay, childhood streamer. How many streamers are connected to Mr. Beast? Not very many people I know are connected to Mr. Beast who are streamers, and that's a true fact. Except for the Glader contestants. I know Jayza too. I mean, she has talked to Jimmy personally, so. At the 2023 state track meet. However, though, she completely ignored any verbal contact, which was the ultimate universal sign that she moved on. But the issue remains. Grudges can stay on the internet forever. And that's why I think that a lot of these people who are using this information in 2025, they don't really care about Lax, Marissa, Morgann Book, or any one of those people. They just want to weaponize it to use it against me. And that's why there are issues with that. And that's why Mr. Helendrock called it blackmail. Because it is blackmail. My professor told me that there's only multiple reasons why smear campaigns can succeed, and the biggest reason is public leverage. That's why Lex's group fell apart so fast. So you may wonder, why did I write that she melted into a puddle substack? What use does it have? Well, it turns out I was already moving on from the PsyOp video and the MIB audience. The PsyOp video was just a way to clear myself with Jake. But unfortunately, an emotionally distressed child decides to join my server and be disruptive to the normal users there. And they flipped the story saying I'm beefing with the child, even though in reality, the child literally came into my own space. So I banned the child, but then the child is talking about coming back. But it's not just that though. This is Jake's direct quote. I'm a tad skittish about that, LOL. Everyone's a fucking psyop. But guess what? The title of Rose's response video to my psyop video. There is no psyop against Jake Weddle. That should be enough to make you suspicious about Rose. But it gets even deeper. Now you see, I sent Dinos the link to copy of Rose Millette public document. It's a Google document. And guess what? This is the document right here. It says Rose Millette, extreme troll, attention seeker, and liar. Introduction. Rose Millette is a controversial trans person on the internet. She has made the rounds on Twitter, as well as attempting to start a music career. She has a laundry list of extreme tweets and behaviors rooted in a history of lying and trolling for clout. But the worst thing is the rape tweeting. These are... And rape. Rape is okay as long as you don't get an STD. Say hello to a movement that makes me want to be... I don't want to say this, honestly. But that's why Xenos replies saying, it's like, this isn't good, it's worse than I thought. Any more info about Sean? I think the others are just dumb, low IQ Redditors. But Rose is definitely the main one who's still actively enabling Snow to be on the internet. I'm saying Snow should get off the internet because it's obvious she doesn't know how to behave on the internet, so she should get off. but then they try to flip the story saying I'm canceling her or whatnot. Like, it's so stupid. That's why, and I don't think Snow's parents are that bright either. That's why there needs to be a lot of pressure. And I know exactly the formula. See, this is the YouTube drama moderator. He says Snow is banned from our sub. We have not and will not be in contact with them or about them. If you can inform the parents, Snow isn't any of our problem. So, so yeah, that's the thing. But that's why Rose is suspicious too. It pretty much just confirms it. Okay, so this is the group chat. The same bingo word group chat that EVO started to rant inside. This is the same group chat, honestly. It's been running for the past, I think I opened it in October. That was when Bingo Corn actually happened, so. Okay, Rose is still messaging Homo Aspian. Because the problem is that y'all are acting like this is Snow's fault, and obviously she's gonna get defensive, and that's wrong. It is Snow's fault. Don't you understand that? I mean, it's on the 30th of November, Snow hopped into my server. Snow literally came into my Discord server to be disruptive, when I was planning to move on from the whole thing. Conra finger guns. This is Rose too. For the record, I also feel really weird about Snow being in the group chats. But Snow is still in the group chats. Rose still enables her to be in the group chats. And the other thing, when the kid is placing the blame on me. She's placing the blame on me. That is so ridiculous. And this is Rose's statement here. Brett has mentioned me in Google Docs. Now, I got kicked from Jake's server again. I don't know the reason, but I suspect it's Rose. Because there's only one person who I sent that specific Google Doc to. Actually, multiple. I sent it to a private channel in my server. And I sent it to Jake's staff in a ticket on their server. So, does that mean that Rose Moulette was possibly LARPing with Jake's staff? Yes. And even though this is stupid because it's obvious that Rose doesn't care about Jake, and she's trying to use Jake and defend Homo with it, it's still obvious that Jake's staff was still being naive enough. Which I'm kind of disappointed by. Jake should have a good talk with their staff, honestly. But yeah.
They were talking to me about this. Again, no secrets. Here's the problem, right? Brett looks at this information, which, by the way, I have way more information than you fucking do, okay? I have the smoking gun that you want, and even I am not coming to the wild conclusions that you are.
So here are the Litrant DMs of corn, right? Oh, okay, it's hard to explain, but Litrant is an account I partially run. So, we're going to explain. But, okay, so now he admitted after the corn situation. He admitted he messed up after the corn situation. Wanted to explain it all. Right. I don't think so. He was clearly in contact with someone who had low-key stalked me too. So I don't know, man. Who is that? Brett has stalkers, you know. I'm sorry, dude. I don't think he's being honest with you. Low-key. Aspie's a stalker and a creep. If you don't know who that is, then I don't know what to tell you. You're missing a lot of information. So, who is this Aspie, you may ask? Well, it's Homo Aspian. It's Homo Aspian. And it's hard to explain, but this is who Rose is actively defending. Honestly. That's what I call a selective outrage. Just, I'm calling out everything they're doing. So they're trying to, quote, cancel me. But then Rose still rather defends Homo Aspian over Jake. So, and like I said, and everyone knows that Rose is problematic too. It's just that the issue is super complex.
Corn, you want to be free. Listen to me, it's not good for the Mr. Beast slavery. Look up the tree, and you understand that I am in need. Corn, you need to understand this, corn. You need to understand this, corn. You need to understand this, corn. Stop trying to give me the horn. You need to understand this, corn. You need to understand this, corn.